better get off stage. Yeah, probably, by that stage it'll be full.
Now I can go.
Good afternoon and welcome to tomorrow night, those who are here for the first time, and welcome to 4 p.m. My name's Dean Stevenson and this installation is the stupidity that I thought of, and hence I'm chained to its idea until the end of July. So until July I'm here in the museum, you've probably seen me here at the piano. The idea is that every day is a blank page to begin, and I start writing a new piece each day. And then at 4 p.m. you arrive, as you are now, and you have a drink. You haven't got a drink. Too much ice cream? They're not the same thing. Ice cream doesn't take up the wine tummy, And anyway, and the quartet arrive and perform the piece that I wrote. So that was a piece I wrote a few weeks ago. Everything is written in a single day, not worked on again the next day, although I put pieces together in suites, which you will hear today. Monday's the great day because you get to hear today's piece and yesterday's and Saturdays and Fridays and Thursdays. So Monday's the day, but a fresh piece each day, and then the musicians, who are Hayato, Miranda, Damien and Sophie, perform the piece each day. So there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to work on today's piece, which won't take long because it's a relatively follow your nose kind of piece. I'll explain some of the things I did as I was writing it, and then we'll play all of the other weekends. And if you have any questions, this is kind of a relatively informal thing. See, I can get off stage. Informal. Look at that. Look at how informal is this? Now it's formal. So we'll talk. My mic will stay on so we can chat, ask questions if you have any about the instruments, about composition, or just about creativity. I'd like to remove all of the music jargon from as much of this as I can, and just have it as a chat about creativity, because the idea that curiosity and creativity and courage go together are kind of the cornerstones of what I'm doing here. I have this little thing on my music stand which says that art is never really finished. It can only be abandoned in an interesting place. Tell that to your children so we don't stigmatise their mistakes. Because if you're afraid to make a mistake, you'll never come up with anything original, which is the basis of all creativity, that you persist through what you do. You don't just shit a diamond the first time, you do something which might be any good, or you just keep going, as I have to do every day at the piano. Today's melody, I must admit, I whistled into my phone at 4 a.m. this morning. Think, fuck for that, I've got something to start with tomorrow. Oh, it's great. Because some days I get there and I'm plugging away at the piano for an hour and go, and there's lots of notes, but it's a desert, nothing. So sometimes the muse doesn't arrive, it really doesn't. Some days it does. Today was kind of cute, I think. Sort of cute, so it'll be fun. So think of any questions that you might already have, given the proximity to a violinist or a cellist. And I've always wanted to ask. You can do it here. Here's the day to do it. So we'll start to work on today's piece, which is piece 195, the 195th day sat here at the piano, which means next weekend, or next Monday is 200. 200 days. Wow. And out of the 200, don't clap. Well, you can, no. Actually, yeah, clap. No, don't clap. Yeah, no, stop it. This recording here represents, there's 16 tracks on this double album which represent the ones I was like, they were the day when the lightning did strike and there's some good stuff. String orchestra and quartet, all written in here and recorded largely in here. And other things you will never hear ever again. I hope I never do either. Let's start working on day 195. Hello everybody. 3/4, apart from the bit when it's not. 3/4, some little 5/4 bits. Let's just play the opening sprightly bit of it, and sprightly melody, and the first violin comes in bar 5, and we'll play through until, when should we stop? We'll stop at about E, I think. Get a sense of how this little melody goes. Okay, nice and 1, 2. Yeah, so there we go. Here we go. So the amazing thing which blows my mind every single time is they just read that for the first time. Never seen it before. I haven't heard that yet because I only heard it on piano, and you haven't heard it yet. So we all heard that for the first time, and they just played it like that. And like that was the melody I had. 4 a.m. going for a wee, and that's who else does that? Who else? Or is it just me? Okay, that's what I did at 4 a.m. this morning. I've probably written it all kind of in the low register. It sounds very kind of, I probably should have separated a bit more, but that's what I learned today. I've already written it 2 dents in the middle. We'll try and make it nice and light. So we're at, when you go to section B, I've written staccatos on the minimum, just so I can separate them, give them a little bump, so it just gives the bow, but still with the sense of that kind of movement, the little boning of the picks. Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense. No. Really? Shall I talk slower? No? Okay.
You don't want it sustained?
I do, no, not want sustained, but not staccato. I'm explaining to you now that I've written something unconventional. Yeah, just separate them. Yeah. Just in case there's any confusion that I wrote a short note under a long note. Give it a little extra bump. There we go. There we go. This is what rehearsals are all about. Anybody got any questions yet? No. All right. Let's do that much again, and then we'll keep playing. 1, 2. Flushing the toilet back here at 4 a.m. As I said, it wouldn't take long. So one of the things I tried to do, conventionally, like music that's in four, like pop music, boom, ka, 1, 2, 3, 4, and typically, stereotypically, 3, 4, waltz, boom, cha, cha, boom, cha, cha, boom, cha, cha. So I'm gonna talk about time signatures because twice this weekend, someone's yelled out a question about time signatures. No one gives a shit about time signatures, but composers do certain things to subvert the music and make you feel something like. So I've written some bars in 5/4. So rather than 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Like when you've been at a dance doing a waltz all night, but you've had a few and you're on the way home and you there's a stagger in between the waltzes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. There's a little bit of stagger in between. So that's what I've tried to do. Just subvert the idea so you can't quite predict exactly when and where it's going to go, which is the writer's job, is to not let you look too far ahead, because if you think you know where it's going to go, you'll stop paying attention. So our job is to keep you there. So that's what I've tried to do. Shall we give this another shot? Any questions about it? No? All right, let's give this another shot. And then I'll treat the people to the suite and they can ask some questions. Here we go. 1, 2. Those last, Get those last 2 bars, just the last 2 bars.
Straight through?
What's that?
Is it straight through?
Yep.
1, 2, everyone's got the same.
The last 3
I bet we're not slowing up.
No, not slowing up, straight through. Yep. From P, last 3 bars.
Yep.
Sorry.
1, 2,
Do you want to just count 4, 5?
Yeah, so
Count
Okay. 4, 5.
One more time.
Right. Try it again. One more time. 4, 5. There we go. That's it. Okay. Okay. Yay. All right. So that's today's piece. That was my 4 a.m. wee tune. Sorry. Anyway, there's a question over here. Yes.
Yeah.
Where's the piano part?
Two semi.
Will there be? No. No, there won't. Maybe in the future, but not today. No. There's no piano player in today. I'm not a piano player, I'm a composer, not a piano player. No. Oh, yes. How do I go composing for string quartet on one instrument? Yeah, good question. It's because it's crazy in here. So the idea that I can do that's just a D major scale. Play it on a piano and hear that. Yeah, it's weird. It is weird, especially because if I play that, as soon as I strike it, it dies away. So the piano doesn't sustain. Whereas this can just go meh for hours and hours and hours. So I don't play these instruments. I've never played violin or cello, but I've listened a lot to this. So I just use the history of my listening and what I know that they can do technically to write it on the page and hope that it works. And they'll tell me quickly if it doesn't. Yeah, it's a weird thing. But I'm yet to meet someone who can write this music for this kind of ensemble on guitar. It's just not the kind of instrument that produces this kind of writing. This kind of writing, these instruments, and writing on the piano go together. So typically, sort of string or classical music, if you want to call it that, is written from that instrument because of the way it's laid out and the way you can see harmony with your hands when you're on the thing. You can't see it the same way with a guitar or another instrument. If you imagine writing a string quartet from a trumpet. That'd just be weird, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be so terrible. Yeah. Anyway. A question over here, yes? You've got a very quiet voice, that's why you're coming. Go on, Dan. When I'm conducting. Yeah. Oh, they don't? When I'm conducting, how do they see what I'm doing? Mostly they don't. They just want to get off the stage. Peripheral vision, because they can play it without me now. I'm only sitting there to introduce them to certain things. They maybe my arms go big, quiet, loud. String quartets completely self-contained and don't need a conductor, except now when we learn the piece and now I'm done. Now they'll play it much better without my distraction. But otherwise it's just peripheral vision. The reason an orchestra needs one is because there's too many people in the enormous group of 40, 50 plus players to all see each other. Too big, so they need a central point of focus. That's why. Yeah, but this is big enough they can do it. Do it. Go damn self. Okay. Any questions before we launch it? What we're going to do is we're now going to play the previous 4 days and finish with this one. So we're going to play Sunday, or Sunday as it says, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and finish with today. And at that point, when we get to the end, when we play this again, I'm going to ask a favour of you. So, thank you for being here. Some people just might want to hear this and go, and you've got some fairies to... You won't miss your fairy, I won't let that happen to anyone. But there's a number of ways that you can keep connecting with this installation, which goes until July. So I'm here writing many, many more pieces, which you may not necessarily be interested in, but you may be interested in the process, it's all about process, not necessarily about outcomes, which is hard to define. There's a live stream right here on this camera that's standing in front of me, so my YouTube, Dean Stevenson Music, you can see every single day, all 195 days of live stream there. I have a mailing list here if you'd like to stay in touch with the future of the project as it evolves. There's a Patreon page and all that sort of stuff, so you can actually get all of the live recordings to your inbox. Amazing. The last take is always discreetly mixed for you. Or you can come and buy an album or a download. They're over here, so I'll be sat here at the end if you'd like to do that. Here we go. This is the Weekends Suite. Here we go. No more questions? Yeah, I'm playing, the last 4 days. Yeah. Sunday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, a bit mixed around, just to make it sound like it's in a good order. And then we'll finish with today's. Sunday. Or Sunday. This is Saturday's piece. The viola has a very tricky part where this piece and the next piece connect, so we don't stop in between, just to make sure that all the pages are right. All it takes is one person to go, and they're all gone. Now Friday's piece. Hayato, Miranda, Damien, Sophie. Right, so that was the last 4 days of the pieces I've written every day. Sometimes would I do a better job? Would I try to make that piece better? Well, I can't yet because I've got to write something else usually the next day. I'm not writing anything else tomorrow. I'm going home to lick my own neck and sit in a dark room and do nothing for a while. Does anyone have any questions before we do the last piece and we're going to ask something special of you? Anything anyone wants to? Yes? Does my mood affect the composition? Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. If the more you do something, the better you get. So I rely on the fact that after 195 days, some good kind of instinct is there to make stuff happen, even if I'm not in a good mood. But I know I'm writing a suite, and I've written 3 days of slow shit, and I have to write something really quick and upbeat. So I might come in with a hangover and go, oh. But I have to rely on my instinct and my craft to make that work and just do it. The thing about mood is that as a creator, like sometimes your mood's like, oh, I feel great today, I'm going to write a great piece, and you write a great piece and you go, this is awesome. The next day you go, I'll do it again because I'm feeling good, but you're not feeling good and it doesn't work, and you go, I'm a fail, no. So writing that lightning strike wave is devastating as an artist, to not be able to do it every day, which is part of this thing here, just to be able to just show up and do it, just have it be a skill and a craft, and every day something will come. Yeah, all right. So we're going to play the last piece, which is the piece I wrote today, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone. As this is the last thing we will do today before you all catch a ferry and bugger off, I'd like to invite everyone to come forward and stand around the stage. Come forward and stand around, and this way we can all be nice and close to these incredible instruments and these incredible musicians as we play this funny little waltz. Thank you very much, Hayato, Miranda, Damien, and Sophie. And I hope you have a splendid week here in Hobart if you're visiting. My name's Dean Stevenson. Remember, there's all these things here, the mailing list and things you can take home. Otherwise, I encourage people just to go and make stuff. And don't be disheartened when it doesn't turn out like you hope it does. Keep making stuff. If you make a turd, at the very least, just roll it in glitter. Yeah? Okay. Here it is. You don't need me for this anymore. Day 195.